Mobile games or app games, whatever you want to call them, you know, they were a key part of my childhood growing up. I was born in the early 2000s and growing up in the mid to late 2000s, right around the time the iPod and the iPhone was coming out. There was so many fun and, you know, interesting ideas for app games. Not like the kind of slop you see nowadays, you know, like Roblox, Brain Rot Simulator, spend 100 Roblox to get ton skin and all that crap. No, I'm talking like proper games where you install it in like 30 seconds and then you have hours and hours of fun. No ads, no, you know, microtransactions, back when mobile games were actually fun. So I'm going to take everyone back to a time where app games were more simple, and yeah, I'm just ranking some of the more nostalgic app games that I remember growing up with. And to start off the list, we have something the channel's very familiar with, Minecraft Pocket Edition. Now, I grew up playing Minecraft Java Edition. I was very lucky in the fact that my dad had a gaming computer. So while I was like 10 or 12, around about the time Minecraft was kind of first popping off, my dad was kind enough to actually let me get Minecraft, and I played it on the computer. I still remember my friends playing like the Pocket Edition, playing the Xbox 360 Edition, and I kind of felt, you know, I felt like I was, you know, bougie playing the Minecraft Java Edition on the computer. I didn't really play the Minecraft Pocket Edition. I have played Minecraft Bedrock for mobile. Like, you know, there's times where I'm going on a road trip or I'm going on holiday, and, you know, I was like, right, well, I kind of, you know, if I'm in the mood to play Minecraft, I could just play it on my phone. Bring an Xbox controller, you're sorted, connect the Xbox controller to your phone, you're basically playing Minecraft. If you have a decent enough phone, it's pretty good. I'm gonna rank Minecraft Pocket Edition as a true classic because I do think it was a lot of people's introduction to Minecraft. For me personally, I grew up playing Minecraft on a computer, so it's not super nostalgic to me, but I do understand how it is a true classic. You know, I'm in the mood to play some Angry Birds, and I actually download it on my phone and play a bit of Angry Birds. So I'm actually going to put it in still will play to this day, because it's kind of like it itches a scratch in my brain, you know? Send me back to when I was a kid playing Angry Birds on my dad's old iPhone. Now, if you grew up on YouTube around like when YouTube gaming was first kicking off, you've probably heard of the Impossible game, the game where you're a little square and you have to click to make the square jump over the blocks. Now, a mobile game, copied that idea with Geometry Dash. Now, Geometry Dash is basically the Impossible game, but a bit more funked up, and you always see it on like YouTube Shorts where all these mental levels and people are managing to do them. Now, I did play Geometry Dash a bit as a kid. I wasn't too good at it. I kind of, you know, got the idea of you need to follow the beat in the background and tap whenever the beat kind of like hints at it and stuff, but I don't know. It was fun, and the fact that you could like customize your own little square was kind of fun, but I reckon I'm going to put it can be fun for an hour, because that's what it is. After an hour, you're kind of, you know, you're either raging because it's too difficult, or it's just gone a bit boring and you've put it down and you put your phone down to do something else. Next up, Bloons Tower Defense. Oh my god, Bloons Tower Defense was an amazing app game. You know, I really do like tower defense games where you have to plan a defense and stop hordes of enemies coming at you. And I remember when I first played Bloons Tower Defense, I think I played it at school on one of those websites where it's like, you could play games, because normally the school computers would block websites that don't let you play games, but it was like an unblocked website or whatever. So you could play games. I remember playing Bloons Tower Defense, and one of my mates said to me, like, you do know you could download this on your phone? And then just from that point, hours and hours of fun playing Bloons Tower Defense on my phone. Now, I'm not going to put it in still play to this day, because I haven't really played it for a while. I did try and play the newer one, but it's just, it doesn't have the charm of the original. When I say the original, I'm talking about Bloons Tower Defense 5, I think is the one I'm thinking of. But yeah, I haven't really played any of the other ones, and Bloons Tower Defense 5 I think is so much fun. But I do think there's a tower defense game that does beat it out, and that being Plants vs. Zombies. Oh my, Plants vs. Zombies is one of my childhood like favorite games of all time, and to this day I will still sit and play it happily. It's so much fun. I love the Plants vs. Zombies genre. I remember when the first game came out, and I didn't have a computer or anything, so I begged my sister to let me get it on her laptop, so I'd constantly be borrowing my sister's laptop to play Plants vs. Zombies on. And then eventually they released it on mobile. They released the first game, and it was so much fun getting to play the first game, you know, without having to ask my sister to borrow her laptop, whatever. They also ended up releasing on Xbox 360, and I remember playing on that. But then they released Plants vs. Zombies 2, and when that first came out, oh my god, it was amazing. That was probably like the game I played most as a kid on my phone, Plants vs. Zombies 2. I literally, you know, when we went on holiday, I'd sit there and play it on road trips. Even when we were sat around the house, or I'd just sit there and play it. Walking back from school, I'd probably play it. I loved Plants vs. Zombies 2. And I literally have Plants vs. Zombies 2 Gardenless installed on my computer, and I still play it now. So that is going to go to the top. I still will play to this day. Next up, Cookie Clicker. Now, I remember when Cookie Clicker 2 was kind of like a craze around school, and everyone was playing it and seeing who could get the best high score. But it literally was one of those things where it lasted like a couple of months and then no one ever played it. Now, I've personally gone back and played the original Cookie Clicker on my computer. I think I have it downloaded on Steam. And it was one of those things where you get hooked on it for a couple of days just to see how many cookies you could get. Then you know, your interest kind of drops down. But Cookie Clicker 2 from the mobile, I don't remember it being as fun. I don't know if it's like it doesn't have as much put into it. But I'm going to put it in kind of boring, because it is a case of it popped off for a couple of months, but even then it was kind of like, why are we playing this? Why are we playing this game where you literally tap on a cookie? It makes no sense. Next up, we have another childhood classic. Now, just in general, this genre of game, so this is Dragon Vale or Dragon Valley? Dragon Vale or Dragon Valley? To this day, I still don't know which one it is.
Dragon Vale.
This kind of game where it's like a park manager. You know, you build like a park, you have like little attractions, and you slowly will collect money over time, and you use that money to buy more attractions and blah blah blah. There's time stuff where you have to, for example, in this game you hatch dragons and there's a timer while you're waiting for the dragons to hatch. There's loads of games like this. And yeah, this game, this was another childhood classic for me. Now, I feel like it can't go any higher than Can Be Fun for an hour, because you literally can't play it for longer than an hour or so without being like, there's nothing else I could do. I have to wait like 24 hours for my eggs to hatch and my stuff to be ready before I can actually play the game again. And that's meant to be his whole gimmick. Is it's like, oh, if you want to do this, you have to come back and play tomorrow. So I'm going to have to put it in Can Be Fun for an hour, but it's still a childhood classic. Speaking of that kind of park manager game, My Singing Monsters is very similar, but I feel like it does kind of do it better in the fact that you actually do have something to do while you're waiting. Whereas in games like Dragon Valley, you could kind of go around your park, have a look at your attractions, and just be like, yeah, well, this is fun. Whereas in My Singing Monsters, you literally get to sit there and listen to like the songs that your monsters make. So I'm going to put it slightly higher than Dragon Valley, because I feel like it does have a bit more value to it. I feel like this was a bit more recent, but still a bit kind of a classic. Just in general, .io games, this specifically is Slither.io, which I think was the second IO game to pop off. The first one obviously being Agar.io or Agar.io. But this one, I personally played a bit more, Slither.io. I thought it was a bit more interesting, a bit more fun. You know, it has the kind of snake concept where if you bump into another snake with your head, you die, but you're allowed to wrap around your own snake's body. It is fun. And it's very simple. There's no like microtransactions. That's the other thing I forgot to mention with these two games, Dragon Valley and My Singing Monsters. These kind of games are filled with like, watch an ad to speed this up. Pay £3 to get emeralds and use the emeralds to speed this up, blah blah blah. Whereas Slither.io is very, you know, you log in, you play it, bish bash bosh, you're done. I even think on the mobile game now, there's a mode where you could play against AI, which is like if you just want to kind of chill out and play it without having to worry about super sweaty players or a super decent internet connection. You could just sit there and play it against AI, which I still think is kind of fun. But yeah, I'm going to put it in Can Be Fun for an hour. You know, there were times where I'd sit there and play this for hours, but nowadays it's like, you know, I might hop on and play it for a bit, but I don't have it constantly installed on my phone. Fruit Ninja. I am probably going to get so much hate for this, but I personally didn't really see the point in Fruit Ninja. Now, I did like it and I did play it, but I personally thought it was kind of boring. Like, yeah, it's like you need to make sure you slice the fruit and you don't hit the bombs or whatever, but other than that, it was just you put your finger on the screen and you move it around. It didn't really feel too, kind of similar to Cookie Clicker. There wasn't too much to it. I don't know if it was kind of a case I played it a little bit, I tried it, I didn't like it, and I never touched it. Whereas if I stuck with it, I might have actually enjoyed it, but yeah. I'm not the biggest fan of Fruit Ninja. God, I forgot what it was called then. But yeah, I'm going to put it down in kind of boring. Flappy Bird. Now again, this game took the world by storm. And it was so crazy seeing the whole, the creator took it down from the App Store because of the amount of hate he was getting, because everyone was like, getting so angry playing this game. You heard stories about there was like a brother who like attacked his younger brother, and the younger brother had to go to hospital because he got angry playing Flappy Bird. Now, I never really played the original version. I think I installed it when it was hyped up, and then I uninstalled it, and then the app creator deleted it from the App Store, so you can't ever play it again. But I've played like versions of it, and well, it's alright. It's nothing to go home about. It's just one of those games where you try and get a high score and literally just tap the screen. I get it's like there's a bit of a skill to it. You need to tap the screen at a certain time. But it's also one of those games where once you kind of get the idea for it and you know what you're doing, it's piss easy. Next up, Pokemon Go. Now, 2016, Pokemon Go first come out in school, during the summer holidays. It was like a really nice year. The weather was amazing. Going outside, playing Pokemon Go with your mates, going down the park, it was amazing when it first came out. And I know what you're thinking, like, how was this a nostalgic app? Like, this game is still getting updates to this day. But, it's 10 years old now, or almost 10 years old. It came out in 2016. So, I personally think this is nostalgic. I personally don't really play it anymore. I have a mate who's like really into Pokemon, and I'm pretty sure he still plays it to this day. But obviously, it kind of got tricky because to play it, you need to go outside and walk around. Now, I live in the middle of nowhere, like in England, and there's literally nothing around me. There's a few Pokestops, and that's it. So it's one of those games where, I don't know, it's kind of tricky because you can tap on it, and I think there's certain things you could do where you can just play it from your house. Like, there's certain ways of still being able to catch Pokemon, but I don't know. I think it's fun, but it has its gimmick. I'm still going to have to put it in a true classic. So I remember when it first came out, it was so much fun. Next up, Crossy Road. Now, I think this is a bit more of an obscure one. How did the chicken get across the road? You had to get the chicken from one side to the other without getting hit by a car, without getting hit by a train, without jumping in the water. It was basically also like Frogger in a way. But it was one of those games where it was a bit of craze, and it did kind of die down after a bit. So yeah, I'll put it in, it's alright. Subway Surfers. Oh my god. Now, I grew up playing Subway Surfers. I know there's another game called Temple Run, but for some reason I didn't really play Temple Run. I just went straight to Subway Surfers. And I remember Subway Surfers being so much fun. I know, again, it's one of those things where you and your mates would sit there and go, oh, what high score did you get? I got this, da-da-da. And you always see it on, like, YouTube Shorts in the bottom of the screen, because, like, today's generation, they need something to stimulate their brain while they're listening to videos. I'm probably doing it right now, so, yeah. I would personally I'll put Subway Surfer in a true classic, and I'll put Temple Run in can be fun for an hour, because I think Subway Surfers had more stuff and, like, abilities, etc., whereas Temple Run, I don't know, I just feel like it didn't do as much. Beat the Boss. Oh my god, I remember playing this on my, like, tablet when I was a kid. And again, it was such a simple game. You beat up this little guy, you get money for beating him up, and you use the money from beating him up to buy more tools to beat him up. And it is one of those things where it's so simplistic, but it just works. Yeah, I don't know, I haven't played it for a while, but I think it is truly one of those games where you play it for an hour and you're like, right, I've done as much as I can to beat this guy up. for like the past hour. I'm gonna go play something else or put my phone down for a bit. But it still is fun. Now, this game is just a shameless rip-off of Beat the Boss. Who played this when you have this? This is a superior version of beating up Little Man. You know, no, Beat the Boss is the best, is the better version of this game. Fight me in the comments. Right, we have a few more on our list. We're gonna go with Akinator or Akinator? Akinator.
Akinator.
The genie man who guessed who you're trying to think of. Now, this game blew my mind as a kid, but obviously looking back on it now, I was like, oh, it's obvious. It essentially Googles kind of and like uses its own AI system to try and think of who you're thinking. But as a kid sitting there again, it's like come up with my like characters that I was thinking of, like, oh my god, Akinator knows who Freddy Fazbear is, or oh my god, Akinator knows who Godzilla is, what the hell? How does he know all this? It blew my mind. So I'll put it in, it could be fun for an hour, because it can be fun for an hour, but once you're like, oh, he just knows everything. But then you try and like throw him off and be like cheating the system, but then obviously it doesn't work as well. So yeah, I'll put it in, could be fun for an hour. Now I might get some hate for this one, but Call of Duty and similar games like PUBG, Apex Legends, yada yada yada, Fortnite, I feel like just shouldn't be on mobile. I get what you're saying, like, oh well, what if I want to play Call of Duty while I'm on the tube in London? What if I want to play Call of Duty while I'm on my flight to Honolulu? It's just like, what? I get that it's like, if you install it and you connect your controller, it's no different to playing Call of Duty on a console. But like, I don't know, I just don't understand it, especially because half the time, like Call of Duty Mobile, I know especially, is just full of microtransactions and battle passes and all that crap. Call of Duty Mobile specifically, I don't get it. Like, if you're traveling somewhere and you're like, oh, I really want to play Call of Duty, and you're like, I'm gonna whip out Call of Duty Mobile, I think you just need to wait till you get to where you're going or whatever. If you can't go that long without playing Call of Duty, I think you maybe need to seek help. So that's my list. I hope you guys did enjoy. Obviously I've got these two at the top. Oh, just Plants vs Zombies, man. I love it so much. Let me know down below if you want to see some Plants vs Zombies content, because I'd love to make some Plants vs Zombies Plants vs Zombies videos. I absolutely love that game. So yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video. A bit of a different one today, but hey ho, goodbye.